Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So we're going to recap today's video. Last event hosted by Jeff Davis Fishing, the Eastern North Carolina Bass Challenge out of the Roanoke River. So we take off after launch. We're boat number 36 out of 105. We take off, run up the river to probably a community spot that a lot of guys fish. We catch our first fish pretty early. Hoping that maybe this particular area would continue to yield some good results. I think right about here you'll see the first fish that we catch. This is probably our biggest fish of the day. Danny had just broke off, so I threw back right around where he was fishing and caught the first fish of the day. Again, probably our biggest fish of the day. So after we fished up in this particular spot for a while, we decided to make a run up the river. As you can see, the weather is it's raining on us 4 or 5 times through the day. We're in and out of rain suits. But we make this run up the river to a place I'd fished before during one of our previous club events and had done pretty good on a stretch of a bank up the river. So we make this run. We fish both sides of the river. It didn't turn out to be fruitful, so we end up deciding to come back down the river and fish a different spot. So we make that run back down the river. On the run back, I was kind of debating on whether or not I wanted to go back to the original spot where we started. Generally speaking, I've always caught fish in there. Nothing huge, but I thought we could at least go back to that same spot and at least render a 5-fish limit out of there, but that didn't work out for us. So I decided to go to a different place that I'd fished in a previous NC Bass Nation tournament and had done pretty well on that bank. So we started there. You'll see kind of fast forwarding the videos, obviously, for the boat ride. You don't want to watch all of that mess. At least not in slow motion anyway. So it probably takes us 10 or 15 minutes to get back down the river. Start on that bank, and we're both flipping around with different things, trying different techniques. I think I end up catching the second fish on a jig. So I think that gives us 2. I can't remember if Danny had caught his first one before I caught my second one, but we're fishing in a team event where both of us are trying to accumulate the 5-fish limit for the day. I think after I catch this fish, Danny will net it, and I think you will see as I transition to the next spot in the video, he catches one and measures it, but it doesn't meet the 14-inch limit. So I think that'll come up here in just a second. But we kept fishing this bank. We had debated on whether or not we wanted to go to different places, but I figured all the time you spend running, the river is full of cypress trees, it's full of wood, structure, different things to throw at. So whether you're up the river, down the river, in one of the cuts, in one of the creeks, if you know the river well, then I assume those guys who know it well would have specific spots that they could fish, that they know that's where the fish migrate to during different times of the year. Again, we just decided that we would continue to fish that bank all the way out. We went up as far as we could until it was time to come back and weigh in. So there'll be different times here that you'll see us catch, or at least you'll see me. The camera angle I have on the GoPro here just doesn't accommodate good coverage, if you will. So I'm in the process of working that. I think what you saw just previously, or you are about to see, is me break a rod. I mean, that's common for us competitive fishermen. Sometimes you just get a rod that either you've had for a length of time and it breaks off, or you just hit the right hook set and the blank is compromised in a certain position. I can't remember if this is our 4th or 5th fish. It was a pretty decent fish. What I noticed about the bite that day is almost all of them, as soon as they hit the water, if there was a fish there, they would generally take it and take off with it. You didn't have to work it out too much. So we keep fishing. You'll see in certain parts of the video I'm in shorts, and now I'm back in a rain suit. It was kind of like this all day long, thundering and lightning on a couple of runs that we made up the river and back down. Here I catch another fish I think this is one of the small ones. So, out of giggly, I kind of turned it to the camera and says, we can catch small ones too. Either way, it was a lot of fun that day. Like I said, Jeff Davis had 105 boats in this event, and his series just continues to grow larger and larger each year. The dude puts on a really good show. So I decided to come back and fish this particular series again this year, along with the BFLs and the Cat Team tournament out of the Neuse River. So another fish catch right here in the video. And I think this was a keeper. This may have been our fifth fish. But Danny ended up catching one that we were able to weigh. Actually, I threw that one back. So Danny ended up catching one of the 5, and I ended up catching 4 of the 5. In the previous cat event, he caught the 2 that we were able to weigh in. So we both kind of give each other the ridicule on the fishing trips. But so here, I think we're making the run back to weigh in. It's about that time, so we're headed back down the river. We stopped at a couple different places because we had a few minutes once we got closer to the weigh-in, check-in. So, but I don't know if I showed the video or clipped it out or whatever. But anyway, this is the run back down the river, checking in the city of Plymouth, North Carolina. Great event. The only downside to it is trying to host 105 boats and trailers. The parking is pretty limited here. I think this is after we weighed in, brought the fish back on the bag, decided we would try to get a GoPro shot. So I'm trying to still work out this GoPro thing in terms of angle and that kind of thing. So we had 5 fish for about 11.7, so 11 pounds, 11.70 pounds. We, like I said, finished 28th or 29th, I believe, out of 105. So not a terrible start for the points, because not all 105 of those guys are going to fish the entire series. So, again, partnered with Danny Hammonds. We're going to fish this series together as partners. Appreciate you guys watching the video. You get some shots here of some overhead drone shots that were taken from the tourism department in Plymouth. So, again, appreciate you watching the video, man.